One day I was sitting, procrastinating as per usual, and thinking to myself, why don't I just start getting all the achievements on the games that I own? So as a freshly fired dude with a lot of time, I decided to start with Space Marine 2. So basically Space Marine 2 is a game developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment, and with a great review scores overall, in which the story takes place after the event of the first game, playing as Dimitri and Titus, which is the main character of course. While I was editing this video, I realized that I should stop with a lore explanation, because this is my first Warhammer 40k game, and I don't want to butcher anything lore related, so yeah, back to the video. As for the achievements, this game has 50 achievements including the platinum. Most of the achievements I earned by playing the story missions and operation missions. Basically, a story missions follows Titus' perspective of the whole ordeal along with his squad mates, and these story missions are followed by operation missions, which are more or less side missions. One collectible achievements, which requires us to collect 35 data slates that can be found throughout the main story missions and operations. 6 class specific achievements that are earned by completing specific feats with all 6 playable classes. 3 achievements that require you to get maximum level with a class, a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. 2 grindish achievements for killing 20k enemies and 41k enemies in every game mode combined. A handful of miscellaneous achievements, which some of them can be more tedious than others. And of course 6 multiplayer achievements that, to be honest, are not that hard and they are quite fun to get. But please nerf shock grenades in PvP, because not only they slow your movement, but I don't know who thought that it was a good idea to make them blind you. Basically acting like a flashbang grenade. I mean, when one of those shock grenades hit you, let me tell you buddy, it's like Jesus himself slaps you across the face. Okay, so as our first story related mission, which acts as an introduction, we have Titus, who is the leader of a Deathwatch squad that crashed of course along with his team. Their main objective is to launch a virus bomb that would stop the Tyranids, but Titus soon realizes that all of his squad mates are either dead or dying at the moment. And he sets out to detonate the bomb by himself. After a long road filled with dead people, tutorials, me sucking at pairing Tyranids, and a comic segment of me switching the game to German, Titus arrives to the point where the detonation process will start, but he's interrupted by storms of Tyranids. In the end, he successfully launches the bomb, and overrun by Tyranids, makes a glorious last stand, but he gets game overed by a cute little Carnivex. Then our homeboy Titus wakes up to this guy, which is a huge asshole by the way, and tells us that the wound was fatal and that we survived through Rubicon surgery, which basically means that we got remade. So after an amazing cutscene and our first achievement of the game, we go meet the captain and our squad mates. And we can play multiplayer, so meet my friend over here, who is basically my guide throughout the game. After that we start our first real mission, where we have to retake the batteries and destroy the hive ship using laser cannons. Which I forgot to record because I'm stupid, but we get 3 achievements from that mission alone. Those being Field of Battle, by killing 100 enemies using environmental hazards, Furious Retribution for killing 100 enemies with Roger's Fury, basically it's Titus' special ability, and Unleash the Cannons for finishing the mission. Oh, and also collected the data slates that are present in this for our collectible achievement. Now going back to the missions I did record, the second campaign mission has us to bring back Archmagos Nozick from an Imperial outpost and also retrieve the data located in his research facility, while our second squad has to destroy a fuel station so that they can stop the Tyranids from advancing. We make our way through the Tyrannid-infested swamp, where at some point we have our first encounter with a Lictor, and of course we get the achievement One Ugly Xenos for bringing him down before he could ambush us. After killing it, we make our way reaching the facility, which has us to go inside, kill more Tyranids, fight off swarms of cute little rats, restore the power to the place, fight another swarms of rats, activate the transmitter, and finally send the data. Unfortunately, the ship transporting Nozick gets shot down and we need to hurry to the crash site. After acquiring jetpacks and the last data slate in this mission, we reach the crash site, where we see Nozick game overed by a pointy metal stick, and our boy Titus passes out from that crate full of good shit. And with that, the mission ends, granting us the achievement Chaos All Along. After that, I decided to complete the operation missions, and I got the following achievements: Crude but effective for detonating the bomb and completing the first operation, 6 Semper Tyranids for killing the Hive Tyrant and completing the second operation. By the way, we can ignore the fact that this guy would have kicked my ass if it wasn't for my friend over here. Voice in the Dark for eliminating the Demon Host and completing the third operation. Douse the Flames by eliminating the Helldrake and completing the 4th operation, Resurrection for completing the 5th operation mission, and Outbound Payload for completing the 6th and final operation that gives us an achievement. Now with the operations out of the way, I decided to delay a little longer the story campaign and I got some more achievements. Silence for killing 5 enemies while they call for reinforcements, Xenos Exterminator for killing 1000 Tyrannies in operation mode, a class related achievement called Lightning Strike for performing 100 gun strikes, my friend over here doing a moonwalk, the Art of Dismembering which requires us to perform 50 unique finishers. Of course I forgot to record, not because of my settings but because I'm stupid. Another class specific achievement called Thunder's Impact for eliminating 500 enemies with ground pounds, and Principia Imperalis, or Principia? I think it's Principia.
Principia.
Yeah, Principia Imperalis for finding 200 pickups in operation missions. But it's time to get back and finish the campaign missions. So our captain here finds out what really happened to Nozick and reveals us that Nozick was part of a serious project called Aurora, which is a weapon, and the only guy who is capable of continuing this project is Morias Luz, Nozick's apprentice, and that he is currently missing, and his last known location is of course in a place full of tyrannies. After a quick visit to the doctor, we proceed with the search for our missing guy, so we get dropped in one of the best looking zones in the entire game, in my opinion. And after battling more tyrannies, we eventually reach the facility that is on lockdown. Inside the facility, we find a pretty cool room filled with statues, so I destroyed them and this guy was pissed about it. And after telling him to calm down because it was just a prank, we collect the last data slate of this mission and we reach a Vorkite reactor that of course becomes unstable. Titus then starts the process of shutting it down, and while that is taking place, we need to stop these guys because they are throwing themselves at the reactor trying to destabilize it even further. In the end they manage to shut it down, preventing any catastrophic incident, and we get the achievement for completing the mission. Oh yeah, and our guy here is nowhere to be seen, but we find out that he's in a place called Temple of Tassian? I don't know. And that the weapon which is being worked on is powered up by an artifact and could do big damage to everyone. Our guys over here went to confront their captain about this project, aka a weapon of mass destruction, and after a friendly discussion where he politely tells us to peace off, we then proceed to the Temple of Tassian to find our missing pal. For our 4th mission, we are dropped sooner than anticipated because of a minor inconvenience, and as our first objective we have to eliminate the neurotrope that is currently playing Sniper Elite in the other building. After meeting this cool guy and discovering this cooler feature, we tell our neurotrope that he should go bomb some other places. We then meet up with this cool guy again and we arrive at the building with some of our allies, or so we thought, but we soon find out that all of the Cadians present here are traitors, and our friend over here pays the price for it. Then after some battling with the Chaos forces and our guy here having a mental breakdown, we reach the Temple of Tassian that is overrun by Chaos forces trying to get their hands on our apprentice. And we also find the last data slate of this mission. After getting rid of these guys again and a failed attempt of getting this achievement, an end to the heresy, in which I have to kill a lesser sorcerer while he is reviving a rooming marine, more on this achievement later, we finally find Morias Luz and escort him to the battle barge, getting the achievement Vital Asset for finishing the mission. With the tension rising between Titus and the rest of the squad, we start our 5th mission that has us to deliver a message to Lord Kargar, warning him about the dangers of the weapon, but our only way of transmitting that message lies between hordes of tyrannies. So we land, watch some democracy, find a random ladder that we can climb on, and after a long way of killing more Xenos, we reach our end destination. Here we are warned that the demons could attack anyone who tries to open their mind to the so-called warp, but our lady over here ignores that and begins the ritual for transmitting the message. But yeah, you guessed it, she gets possessed, or was already possessed, I don't know. But our homie Cherian one-taps her, and by doing that he reveals the person behind all of this. We scan him for our scanning achievement and defeat him, but he managed to escape, ending the mission, granting us the achievement Enemy Revealed. So with only the last campaign mission left, which basically has 2 missions combined, I stepped back for a bit and I decided to get 2 miscellaneous achievements, those being the 1000's Dead Sons for killing 1000 Chaos Servants in operation mode, and Unhand My Brother for forcing a Ravener to release a grabbed squad member, in this case, me. And now for our first part of the last campaign mission. The facility containing Aurora along with Luz is under enemy control and we have to reclaim it, but the Chaos are empowered by some crystal that kinda looks like Mother from Final Fantasy. Anyway, we decided that we should ram an old battle barge into the crystal, hoping we will destroy it. Then our friend over here wants to chat with us and we get the achievement Why is it always you three for healing all the chaplain dialogues. We then drop to Tilted Towers and we get the achievement My Face is my Shield for hitting 10 objects during the suborbital drop. Here we have to make our way to the enemy vessel and mark it with a beacon so that the other squad can ram it with the battle barge, and after they manage to hit the second crystal, not funny, we find Luz and he tells us that this weapon he's working on is the key to stopping the Chaos forces, but Titus demands to shut it down, and who would have thought, Luz refuses. Then Imura shows up again, does some bad guy stuff, and Luz gets one-tapped, ending the first part of the mission, giving us the achievement Breaker of Dawn. Now it's time for the final part of the last mission, where we have to stop the giant obelisk, and to do so, we basically have to get close to it. On our way there, I have finally managed to get the achievement and end to heresy. Anyway, we do another glorious last stand holding the banner, in which we get a cutscene where we are introduced to Lord Khadgar, aka the Chapter Master. So we tell him about the situation and that our only solution to stop all of this is to rotate the giant floating obelisk. Oh yeah, and a huge bird-like creature spawned from it and it also empowers him. So to stop the giant artifact we have to rotate the 4 replicas, where 2 of them are rotated by Viridian and Thalassa, the playable characters from Operation, and the other 2 are rotated by us, thus weakening the creature. But putting that aside, I get the last data slate, but the achievement didn't pop. Well, that's because I'm stupid and I forgot to collect them in another mission. Basically, I went up to the data slates and instead of holding E, I just pressed T. But no worries, I'm going to get them later. Anyway, we rotate the last replica, then it's followed by another badass cinematic where Lord Khadgar enters some kind of end portal to the Abyss and we follow them, getting the achievement Into the Abyss, which is self-explanatory. Here we battle some mind games created by Imura, in the end battling him for the last time, and you guessed it, game ending him for good, granting us the achievements, purge them all, for marking Imura, and ultimately for marking every enemy type in the game, and I'll be watching you for watching the ending cutscene and finishing the game. Now with the campaign out of the way, stage 2 begins, meaning we have to do a cleanup. So without further ado, we start with the one I missed, data mining, for collecting all the data slates. Then we knock down all of the remaining class specific achievements, Guardian's Might, after killing 100 enemies with every available melee weapon for Bulwark, Dead Center for making 250 headshots with the Sniper class, Immovable Object for killing 500 enemies in heavy stance as heavy, and Master of Arsenal for killing 25 enemies with every available primary weapon as tactical. And now with those out of the way, I get carried throughout a Ruthless Lever mission and we get the achievement Valor Crest. Then I finally got the achievement that I dreaded the most, and I have so many failed attempts because I was either bad at pairing or the bots were killing him too fast, called No Fear, for perfect pairing a Scarab of Full Terminator 2 times to break his combo. You guys really have to understand how much I hated this achievement. For me to get it, I had 2 friends that were helping me purposely not killing the guy so I can parry him. Oh, and I got Strongest Shot for reaching max level for 1 range weapon, and then the next mission I got Strategic Specialty for reaching max level on a class, Sharpest Edge for reaching max level on 1 melee weapon, and Bespoke for customizing a full armor set for 1 class. Now the only single player remaining achievements are a Blight to be Purged for killing 20k enemies, and a Still True Son of the Emperor for killing 41k enemies, which took about an hour and a half just spanning 1 mission with a heavy class and multi-melta. Now stage 3 has us to collect all the multiplayer achievements, and thank god they are not some grind fest and are pretty easy to do. So the first multiplayer achievement I get is Glorious Victory for winning any match in Eternal War mode, and also getting our win with Tactical class, which is required for the achievement Tactical Genius. Then we managed to get a win with every single other class, granting us the achievement. Next achievements obtained on our list were Merciless for achieving a streak of 5 kills without dying, War Machine playing 10 Annihilation matches in Eternal War mode, Dominator for playing 10's ground matches in Eternal War mode, and finally Unwavering Fate for playing 10 matches of Capture and Control, thus granting us the Platinum achievement Defender of Humanity for overcoming every challenge and achieving ultimate victory. So yeah, that was it. The Platinum for Space Marine 2. A great game with a great story and lots to come. I give this game a 7 out of 10. Of course, this score is based only and only on my opinion, and I'll see you all in the next Platinum achievement.